This is a Glassbox Media Podcast.
Keegan,
Yes.
I need you to say what you just said.
Okay. All right. I do only because I feel like this needs to get out into the world.
Yes, this
so
is
that
the important.
we as women can come together and stand for this. So we were talking about Moby continuing to be just a piece of shit asshat.
Right.
And then you brought up that he's like a huge like man whore. He's,
Yeah.
You know, sticks around a lot.
And how?
And
How?
I mean, yes.
Sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's such a piece of shit. And you were like, we just need to stop fucking musicians. And I was like, we need to just stop fucking assholes. Like, if women could just come together and put like a pussy embargo on, like, on that. And we say, until you act right, you don't get any from anybody.
No.
Yes.
If you send shitty Twitter messages, if you're mean to your Tinder date,
That's
none.
sister solidarity.
You don't
right
get
there.
any. Yeah, we band together and say, you don't get laid until you become a better person.
And now, how does this message
Pussy
come out? Is
embargo.
this like an Amber Alert situation
Yes.
where it like comes up on your
There
phone?
needs to be an underground network of women.
It's like Frank, comma 46, San Jose, California, doesn't
Pussy
tip
embargo.
his waitress. Pussy
Exactly.
embargo.
That's
Snaps
exactly
at waiter.
right.
I need Black Mirror to do this episode. I need them to like come up with the technology because I'm sure it exists. I'm sure we can make it happen.
Well, and here's the thing: our gene pool would be a lot better for it.
Ooh.
Because if we
And
stopped,
people would start acting right.
and people would start. There's a motivator for people to stop acting like pieces of shit.
Yes.
and then also you wouldn't be having the kids of these piece of shit people.
Yeah.
and so hopefully the gene pool is cleaner.
I think
That's
you
what I'm saying.
I think you just really like solved a lot of world problems.
How do we make it happen?
I like all of this.
Yeah. Do we have
stand
any
them.
entrepreneurs that listen? Because
man.
Can
honestly,
we make an app for this?
Elon Musk, contact us.
No, he's on the list.
Oh yeah.
Shit. I just got that alert the other day.
Yeah.
What can we call it? So it's got to be something alert.
Who knows, Grimes?
Let's call it a Moby alert.
Someone
Moby alert.
the Moby alarm.
Is
That's
it
so funny.
shut
R.
down,
the
sir?
R. Kelly alert.
Oh,
You have been
Jesus.
shut
Yeah,
down.
sorry.
Pussy embargo. If
You're like, oh, I was kind of.
that's not the name of this fucking episode,
I know.
I'm flipping this table.
I think Prince wrote a song about it.
Pussy embargo?
Yeah.
I think it's pussy control. But
Yeah.
Same thing.
I mean, kind
He's
of.
like, bitches, get it together. Pussy control.
Yes. Oh my God, how much do we all love Prince?
Oh, we all
You know
love
what? I
Prince.
said to Chris the other day, I'm like, thank fucking God we've not had anything come out about Prince because
Oh, I
I
can't.
don't know if I can handle it.
No,
Couldn't
I
handle it.
cannot.
Yeah.
In fact,
Couldn't.
all the things that have come out since he passed are like
Amazing.
great things.
Yeah.
How amazing.
Because wasn't he like a Jehovah's Witness? So
Yeah.
he couldn't tell anybody about all the
All the
nice,
great
like
deeds.
Things that he did.
philanthropic things that he was doing when
Yeah.
he was alive. So he died, and they're like, "Oh, he was giving like half of his fucking salary to charity."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All
like,
his money
oh,
away.
he's the
Oh,
best.
What a great guy.
There's a short list of people who I'm like, if anything ever fucking comes out about
Tom
these people,
Hanks?
Tom Hanks. I was my number one.
Mr. Rogers.
Oh my God.
Are we going to fuck Mary Carol Prince, Mr. Rogers?
Tom Hanks.
Oh my
We
God.
could
Did you just make
never.
the most impossible fuck, marry, kill of
Yep.
all time?
Oh,
Yep.
Prince, Mr. Rogers, and Tom Hanks.
I don't like that. Well, actually, I know
I think we gotta
exactly
do
what
it.
I would do.
Oh, no.
You guys,
But
no,
no. It
think
has to
about
be
it.
fuck, marry, friend,
Okay.
right?
No, we're
No.
going all in because you
Ooh.
know why? This is the 1 year
Oh.
anniversary episode
Oh, it hurts.
of My Worst Date. I'm Christina.
I'm Cassie.
And I'm Keegan. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome,
Oh, I
everyone.
started
First and
off.
foremost, God bless America. I can't believe, A, that we've been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
B, I can't fucking believe how amazing. We said it before. I know it gets old. I can't help it. How fucking amazing our listeners are.
Mm-hmm.
How fucking amazing it is that we're still doing this after a year and that we've gotten the support And I mean, it's been fucking truly amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
And we got good things coming around
we do.
coming around the bend.
Yeah, because
Insane stuff.
looks like we might be going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll, yeah.
Hopefully.
We'll,
More on that
to come.
later.
Yeah.
We're
But
still working out the deets, but we are hoping to expand our live show audience
Yes.
in the next year. So
very
yeah,
exciting.
Maybe
Very
coming
exciting.
to a town near you. And, glad to officially announce that after 1 year of bad dates, I am still single.
We do this for you guys. We do it for
this
you.
I had a couple people that were like trying to date me, and I was like, no. With great power comes great responsibility.
I
and
must
need
continue the solo journey.
to continue
Yeah.
going and having bad dates so that I can entertain people.
And
no,
report back.
I've
Yeah.
never come close in an entire year. Not even.
You had
Not
a couple.
even close.
You had a couple strong
Yeah,
candidates.
Yeah, a couple close calls, I feel like. Kind of.
Yeah.
I feel like there were a couple times. We can rewind the tape on
Yeah.
our episodes. I feel like there were a couple
Oh my
times where you were
God.
like, maybe.
I
this
know.
one.
I know. There were times my hopes were up, hopes were high.
Yeah.
Things were in motion.
And then the red flags came a flying.
pew, pew.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yep.
For real though, too, because I mean, I feel like people listening could sometimes be like, maybe she's just being too picky, and I'm like, no, these red flags
Oh, yeah.
were like,
They
real
were
red flags,
deal
like-
breakers, which we talked about.
breakers. Yes.
We need to do
Let's update them.
updated deal
Yeah.
breakers. I don't even remember what my
I
last
know
ones
what mine
were.
is as I look at my Ohio State.
Yeah,
sign
I
or-
remember you.
because mine was and here's what I actually thought about it recently because I knew we were coming up on our 1 year episode, and I was like, it's still to me would 100% be a deal breaker. Like I legitimately, it's just, and you know why? It's just because look, and I've said this before. I said this on the episode we talked about this on. I love the rivalry.
you're too
I love the rivalry.
competitive.
I am. I'm too competitive. It would literally be a house divided in the strongest way possible if that was the case. And I just, to me, like there's a lot of things I could disagree on. We don't have to have the same baseball team. We don't have to have the same. But to me, like college football is just such a big part of like.
Going out on a date actually
Yeah.
tomorrow with a guy that went to Michigan. He's like, oh, I'm supposed to tell you Ohio, like, boo. And I'm like,
oh, but
okay.
that means he don't care that much.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't
So it's
care that
fine.
much, and neither do I. But that's why deal breakers, like we talk about it, it's got to be like
It's a personal thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
personal thing.
Because
it
in
is-
my mind, even if he said that, I'd be like, yeah, no, this probably isn't going to work out and would cancel the date. Because it's still a strong deal to me.
Unmatched.
Unmatched
You're like-
block.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought about that. The reason why I thought about like updating our deal breakers is because I look back on mine and I'm like loud chewers, slow walkers. And like while those things, slow walkers,
Still.
like y'all pick up the pace. Seriously.
Yeah, let's get
I
it going.
cannot handle it. And loud chewers still don't like them. But like given everything we have discussed in the past year.
correct. I'm
I'm
like,
like-
I'll give me a loud chewer, but
Over
please
some of this
don't live with your
other
mom.
shit.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
over some of this other shit. Like, please just don't be a bigot. Like, that would be
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
number one deal breaker. I'm just
Yeah.
like, if you say anything remotely bigoted in our conversation,
Yeah.
we are done here.
You're so fucking
we
done
are so
here.
fucking done. It's not something I'm willing to train you on. It's 2019. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
like,
That's absolutely right.
Well, I have learned the thing, I guess, that drives me most crazy, that gets under my skin. I'm really busy and I go, but my phone is constantly attached to me and I'm a very communicative person. So being ignored drives me bananas. Now, I'm not saying you don't text me back right away. Because I don't text people back right away
Immediately,
sometimes.
right.
No, exactly. You're in a meeting or you're busy or whatever. But if I text you a question because we have plans like later in the day and I don't hear from you and then I'm thinking, do we have plans later in the day? And then I see you posting on other social media. So I'm like, okay, so motherfucker, I know you on your
Right.
phone.
Right.
And
You
you're
got it.
deliberately
Ignoring.
ignoring a question posed of you. This isn't me just sending you something that's rhetorical that you don't have.
Well, I'll tell you, even when you do,
banana sandwich.
I will tell you guys, like sometimes I'm bad about like I'll wake up, I'll read my text message from the My Worst Date text message chat.
Yeah.
Then I'll go back to sleep.
Yep.
Then I will wake up and like stuff on like Facebook and Instagram. And then I'll realize that I liked like a My Worst Date thing. And then I'm like, oh shit, I just like that. So they know I'm on my phone and I did not respond to the My Worst Date text chat.
Keegan.
And I'm like, oh
We
shit,
see you,
I
bitch.
better like go respond to them now for that.
I've
But it's
literally
for that
never noticed
reason.
you do that, by the way.
I mean, I'm
Never.
just saying, I'm hyper aware of that stuff because I'm just like, that is the case. It's like we live in a world now where like we can see each other's activity for better or for worse.
Right.
And like, yeah, if I send you a fucking question that I need answered
Right.
and you are on Instagram,
You're on your God
Respect
blessed phone.
my fucking time. Respect my time. My time is so fucking valuable. Just respect my time. That's all I'm saying. Also, like we talked, I think on the shorty about like people that are creative is important to me for someone to have hobbies. It doesn't necessarily have to be creative per se, but
Sure.
just like
Do something
for
with yourself.
me, I need to have somebody that has more in their life than just a job and like Netflix, you know? Like
Yeah.
I need somebody that's passionate about something. Because I don't do small talk that well. You know, I get so fucking bored where it's just like, oh, how was your day?
Yeah.
Oh, how was your day?
I remember when I first met Chris, when we first started dating, and thinking, oh my God, what if on like the third date we have nothing else to talk about? Like what if we've already said everything and we're like bored now? Like, you know what I mean? I think everybody
always
feels that
think
way.
I think that with
Yeah.
new friends more than I think
Yeah.
that even with like guys. Like I
Yeah.
think that with girls, I don't know why. Like I feel like the bar is higher for like friendships,
For girlfriends.
for like girlfriends.
It's
where I'm like, I don't want to run out of things to say. I don't want her to think I'm not cool.
I can't believe we still have stuff to say after a year.
Jesus.
It's
That's a good
amazing.
sign.
Truly.
What a
Yeah.
year. We had our first live show.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
2 nights. It was good.
Two nights, live show.
2 good nights.
Fucking great. Chris still talks about it. He's like, dude, your shows were so good. And I'm like,
Thank you
I know.
so much.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait for our next one.
Yeah.
Do you have any updated deal breakers?
Oh, updated deal breakers. Let's see. I do agree. I think that being communicative is super important, which you know we talked about before.
And anything from any stories or my
there's-
experience.
I have
That's the
another
thing
one
is
to
like,
share.
where do you narrow it
Shouldn't.
down? There's so
Exactly.
many.
I mean, there
now.
so
are-
many.
There's so
I thought
many.
about
Well,
another one. But
let's-
you know what? I'll randomly think of them while I'm driving and then I
like,
forget.
that
Like,
ain't working.
What about green flags? Let's flip the script.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What are the signs that you would get on a first date where you'd be like, yeah, I like this person. Green flag. You may proceed.
Okay. I think that, well, you're going to hate me because this legitimately goes back to my green flag with Chris, which was our very first conversation. I paid him. Okay. This is how long ago this was. I paid him with a check for him to do my headshots for me. And our conversation started because my checks were Blue Jackets, Columbus Blue Jackets hockey team. Were like what was on my checks.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you like Blue Jackets? I'm like, fuck yeah. And so we started talking about sports. To me, if we can really go head to head on sports and have like a really awesome conversation, like for me, like there's just something about a connect like that where you're just like hitting all the right buttons. Like to me,
I
that's
feel like that with music.
Yeah.
So it's like being
Yeah.
able to like really go toe to toe on a shared interest.
Yes.
That is like a green flag.
huge
for
green
you.
flag. Well, because I think that just as much as they're deal breakers, it's also the greenest of green flags when you're like, oh, we see eye to eye on this. The funny thing is that I would have said probably music as well, but Chris and I have a very odd he brings things to me that I would have maybe never appreciated before, but there's actually a lot of things that like he is more into jazz. I can't stand jazz music. I like blues. And he's like give or take blues.
why
And
not both?
yeah, and I don't like jazz. I just have never enjoyed it. It's not something I feel it actually gives me a little bit of anxiety,
Yeah.
like certain types of jazz. Where he's like just really into it. But though I've been introduced to certain jazz too that like now I'm like, oh, okay, I can dig that thing. I can dig this particular thing or whatever.
Facet.
Yeah. And so I would say that we have a lot of places that cross.
Yeah.
Like usually it's heavy metal. The funny thing is we are very yin and yang when it comes to music. He's jazz, I'm blues. He's heavy metal, I'm punk. He's more, you know what I mean? Like he's more, there's different, like,
but you respect his knowledge on the topic 100%. And he's able to communicate it in a way that it's fun to talk with him about it.
Complementary, not identical. But I think that that's where with me, music, it's funny how music almost became such a secondary to me, where sports is kind of more our primary. And it's such a silly thing. I guess there's part of me too that didn't realize like how much I loved sports until I met Chris, and how much like I just really fucking enjoy it, and I have no apologies to make about it at all. I know it's not very, it's like the opposite, and I can literally never talk to sports with you guys about any, but I mean literally he's the guy who, I worked one weekend and I didn't get to see an Ohio State game. I came in the door, and I'm telling you, maybe one of the sexiest things he's ever done is like had it on pause. The rundown from Sports Center paused on our game. Like, are you ready for the update? Like, I was like, oh, this is hot. Yeah.
I've been really trying, baby.
Yeah. I'm like, take your clothes off right now. It's so stupid,
like,
right?
I'm sorry,
No,
I'm
I don't think
angry.
I don't
No,
think it's
it's
stupid.
like,
I don't think it's dumb or weird.
Everybody's got their thing, because like to me, I'm like, I watch like crazy ass like Nova documentaries and stuff about science and about like weird. I love these weird quantum physics theories and stuff like that. So being able to talk to somebody about Bostrom or kind of crazy stuff like that, like I don't talk to our friend group about that, but it would be very much a green flag for me to talk about that kind of stuff with a date who would be able to hold their own and
to understand what the word Bostrom theory means.
I think that's a very typical thing. I mean, I think
we all have our thing.
Yeah,
like,
what's your thing with
especially
Anthony?
Anytime you have a thing that's like, you know a lot about a topic.
Yeah.
You want to talk to other people about that topic, especially if it's something that's kind of like niche or you don't get that filled other places.
Yeah.
Now, I would say my green flag is
politics.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because
activism.
I could probably run somebody over with that, and that's that. I don't know that would end well on a first date. If I was single, I would not pull out the big guns on a first date unless you started saying some problematic shit, and then I will take you to task and then unfriend you or unmatch you. But
on the other side, though, what if they came to you correct?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
and wouldn't that be hot? That'd be kind of a turn on. That'd be like a green flag.
Yeah, if we had a lot we could discuss. Yes, absolutely. We're like, do you want to talk 2020 primary candidates? I'm like, yes, I would.
Yes, I would.
And how?
I'll take a refill, waiter. Thank you very much.
Snap.
But
Your
then
name's Snap,
if
right?
he snapped at the waiter, I'd be like, we're done here.
Oh, no.
Never mind. I don't care that we have the same pick for the 2020 election. But I would say, for me, the biggest thing that I need in a relationship is like, I need somebody who is going to make me laugh. Like, I need it. Because like, I think I can get really introspective. Like, I think I'm a funny person, but I think I can get really introspective.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I sometimes don't lighten things as much as they should be, and I need that. Like, I need somebody who's gonna pull me back to like make me laugh about something stupid. It's really like important to me. So that would be my number one. Like, if I was dating, it's just like, can you make me laugh on this date? Because if it's all just, even if we're talking about something I'm interested in, if it's all just dry conversation, I can't.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I think Anthony is a good match for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the funniest. So it's great.
Yeah. That's good.
So
now we just need to find like somebody who knows splash.
I need I need a very funny, tall, cute scientist who's not living with his parents.
What if
Preferably no kids.
What if you had a funny short scientist who wasn't living with his parents?
Ooh.
What would you do?
How short?
Your height.
My height, fine.
Okay.
My height, fine.
Okay.
I'll
be on the
rock
lookout.
flats. I'll rock flats.
Well, what if he was okay with you being taller than him in heels? Would you be okay with that or no?
It makes me uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes
But
me,
if he checked every other box.
he checks every other box, I would probably have to get over it then. Honestly, if he checks every other box, it's really my own insecurity.
What if he's also a Republican?
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. The fucking you can't say that on television. I've been attracted to many a shorter than me guy throughout my life.
So
in fact,
it's legit not them, it's you.
It legit is not them because I mean a cute guy is a cute guy. Like I really don't care. But then I have always been so fucking self-conscious about being a giantess. So I'm like, oh, like I know it just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If a guy was super cool about it and was like, you are my Amazon queen and I'm going to like
I'm here for this.
I'm here for this. And
Specifically.
yeah, I would be completely down with it. But from what I've found when I have gone out with shorter guys is that it does give them a complex as well, a little bit.
Well,
So-
and I feel like it's oftentimes like one of two things. It either gives them a complex or
It
they fetishize it. Yeah. Which I totally hear you on that. And like that is a sticky situation to be in. I'm just saying, the right guy could be out there.
I know.
And he could be
Year
5'7".
2, stay tuned. This is the year Christina finds true love, and I'll check in with y'all next year. We'll see how that goes. Any resolutions for this year?
This is just like it's like a live or like a diary that we're just, you know.
I know, yeah.
Dear.
That I don't want my future children to ever listen to.
I pray every day that Dylan does not listen to it.
Oh my God. What if...
No,
I'm about to I'm about to give you nightmares. Never mind. I'll
You
withdraw.
keep that down.
I'll keep that to myself.
You swallow that down with your champs.
Okay.
You
All
swallow
right,
that.
so we are fuck, marry, killing.
Listen, I've had
We're doing
sweaty
it.
armpits since you. Can we fuck, marry, friend? Fuck,
Nope.
marry, friend.
Nope.
No.
I'm going with it. Mr. Rogers, Tom Hanks, and Prince.
Oh fuck.
You're
fuck,
hurting my
marry,
heart.
kill.
Oh shit.
You all ready for this?
Okay. You got one?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. You do yours
think
first.
I know
I
what
always
I
do mine
want.
first.
I'm going to marry Tom Hanks. He is
Solid.
hilarious. He is solid. He is kind of cute. I think he'd be a great husband.
Yeah.
He's
Your kids
middle
would have
middle
beautiful
class
curly hair.
fancy up on the ass.
He is.
Totally knows how to barbecue.
Yep.
That man
And-
tucks a polo into some jeans.
He brings you a glass of
With a
wine
belt.
at like 11. He's like, "Do you want to put on the Daily Show?"
Yeah.
And just like
he does.
he rubs your feet.
Yeah, he does.
Tom Hanks gives great foot rubs.
Yeah,
and
he
you
does.
fucking know he
Yep.
does.
Tom
I'd put money
Hanks
on it.
does the dishes.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
bet
he
Tom Hanks does the dishes. Yeah.
He does.
And he likes the Daily Show because you know why? He's super fucking liberal.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, he's got this great recipe for curry. Like totally like once
know
in a
he does.
while. Ugh. Just whips it out. It's phenomenal.
You know he
so
does.
marrying
And
him.
he's been married forever. Like they've been married
Forever.
forever.
And I love them.
Yeah.
Loyal.
And they're lovely.
and
yeah.
they raised a really cute son. Because I'd
He
marry
cute. Colin?
I'd marry
Is
him.
His name Colin?
Yeah,
I think
Colin.
so.
Yeah. He cute.
Colin Hanks. Yeah.
I'd marry him too.
Oh, totally.
He's like
so handsome.
nerdy cute.
He dated
Way nerdy
Busy
cute.
Phillips, and it's funny because I read her. Well, I listened to her book on Audible, but she has no bad words to say about him. She's like, he's a fucking dream guy. He's so nice. It just didn't work out, and we're still friends. And it's
He
just
does
like,
have one
it's great.
problematic kid. He's got like a white rapper kid.
Well,
but
you
you know
can't-
what? You
you
can't,
can't
win
win 'em
them all.
all.
And like maybe that was the starter pancake.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and maybe he was adopted.
It's
I'm kidding.
I'm
I
cutting.
joke because I'm adopted. That's funny
There
because
you
I'm
go.
adopted. Sorry.
You're like, I can say that.
I can say that.
I am going to.
There's only one option for fuck. Let's just get that out of the way, right? There's not? No. No.
Are you gonna fuck Mr. Rogers?
No.
I wanted you guys to think I was.
Oh,
in a minute.
God, I
Of
was
course
like,
I'm going to
Does
fuck
he leave
Prince.
the cardigan on?
Oh.
Oh,
I'm going to have to kill Mr. Rogers. I'm going to kill him.
dare you?
I'm going to kill him. I'll tell you why. The fucking cat puppets freak me out. They've always freaked me out. I
What's his
respect.
name? The tiger. What's his
That
name?
is so fucking weird.
Daniel
It
Ryan.
weirded me out when I was a kid. It weirds me out now.
Feely.
Oh
Mr.
my
Feely.
I can't do it.
But he brought so much joy.
It did not bring me joy as a kid. As a kid, I sat there and I was like, this is weird. I
loved Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
I love it.
So
And I'm
much.
like, and I look back on it and I'm like, man, that was like a simpler time, you know? Because you look
they're
at it
gonna
now.
come at you in your mentions. You are.
I know.
That's
I know.
CCONNE.
Okay, you better not. But yeah, Prince, you better believe. And he is shorter than me significantly.
Yeah.
But he wears platforms, so you're fine.
Wears platforms, and his
he's good in
persona is like he's like 6'8",
And he'll make you pancakes.
Here's my problem,
I saw that,
though.
Chappelle.
pancakes.
I'm feeling very sweaty about this situation.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll go. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to agree. It's gonna be at the same. I'm gonna have to marry. I have to marry Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You can't not. He does rub your feet.
This is
and
why I
love the
wanted
rub.
to friend. I want a friend, Mr. Rogers.
I couldn't marry Prince though. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. No.
There's just some reason.
No,
it's
it's
just
like a one night stand, and
it's
you're
a one night
happy,
stand.
and you walk away,
exactly.
and you're happy, and I still enjoy your music.
And he would treat you very respectfully.
Oh,
And it would be
absolutely.
safe sex.
And-
Yeah.
a
A la my
100.
mom's t-shirt.
You wouldn't get pregnant.
Yes, no.
But
That's
you could
cool.
only marry Prince if you were like, I'm okay if we keep this relationship wide fucking open.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
only way I think you could marry him.
Yeah. So Keegan,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I also am, and so I'm going to friend Mr. Rogers.
See, that's exactly what Christina's not allowing it. She's shaking
Dude,
her
I
head.
looked away immediately.
Because this is why I wanted a friend, is because I do want him to be my
That's
neighbor.
not the stakes.
I do want you to be my
That's not
neighbor.
the stakes in FMK, and
I have
We
been
changed it for the
duly
Queer Eye
punished.
guys.
and also the cat puppets.
I mean,
and
you
the
make
trolley.
You hate cat puppets?
They were weird looking, and I think it's kind of weird. Maybe puppets for me are a little bit like balloons are for you.
Oh,
They're very
okay.
unsettling. I do not
Okay.
care for Pinocchio. I don't care for
Okay.
puppets. I don't care for marionettes, especially
Oh,
with
yeah?
the
Okay.
herky jerky way that they move.
Fun fact.
Does not make me happy.
I love the word
I
jerky.
was in a puppeteer group.
Same.
Yes, I was.
I was too.
Yep.
Did,
Those
but,
little like
children
the like Muppet
Yeah.
ones.
as but like
Yes.
and through your church.
Yes.
Yes. Me too. Me too.
Okay, so thank you very much for this. We are going to take 5 and come right back with stories, and I'm going to talk to these
Wait, I
girls
didn't-
about their weird church puppet.
I didn't even tell you my FMK.
Oh shit! Okay,
I mean, I feel a tremendous amount of guilt killing Mr. Rogers because I felt a tremendous amount of sadness when he died,
Right?
and
I did too.
he brought so much joy,
so much joy.
and he gave us PBS.
And Daniel Tiger.
but can you fuck Mr. Rogers?
No.
I can't.
No.
No.
No. And you can't
I
marry him either,
can't.
really. It's like
Any
marrying your
of-
dad.
No,
Ugh.
no, yeah.
Those cat puppets are turning up in bed.
Listen,
Oh.
I love Daniel Tiger. I love him.
I think he's very cute, but I don't want him to turn up in bed.
No.
He's got a weird smile. I don't like that smile looking down on me, if I'm
Listen,
honest.
you don't ever hear anything bad about him, and he's been gone for a long time. There's
Yeah.
nobody coming out of the woodwork. Me
No,
too.
There's a
and
no,
Mr.
no,
statue
no.
of him in Pittsburgh.
I don't think anything bad about him, but I'm like, I'm not going to fuck him.
could
I'm
fuck
not
a
gonna
man who
marry
has
him.
his own statue. But no, I'm not. I'm not.
Lots
either.
of men with statues. That
Yeah. You can fuck Rocky, too.
But
action
okay,
star.
I think we're all in agreement here. Sadly, if you're gonna come for anybody, internet, come for Christina. Because Cassie and I, we felt forced.
Yeah.
You can't give us Tom Hanks and Prince, and then I mean, what were we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot kill Tom Hanks.
No.
No.
It's
He
against
is
the law,
A
actually.
national fucking
And you
treasure.
have to fuck Prince,
Literally.
Yeah.
Against the law to kill Tom Hanks because he's actually still alive. And,
and that would be murder.
that would be murder.
Okay.
This went off the rails.
Well,
real quick.
You can lecture us on puppeteering now. That's fine.
No, I need to know more about this. So we're going to take 5 and we'll be right back with stories.
Pages and notes. So
Holy
you
shit.
can tell me.
Yankees.
And we're back. All right. I'm going to lead us off with stories right now since I have the crazy in love this week. This is from a longtime fan of ours, friend of the podcast. I'm not going to say her name in case she doesn't want it mentioned, but you know who you are. And thank you for being around.
And we love you.
And we love you. So she says, Just over a year and a half ago, I moved to a new area, which I absolutely hate. I have 4 years here. I know, it's a bad opening sentence.
Oh, that's the worst.
I know. Living somewhere that you don't like sucks. And since I know this person, I know that she's military. I know that also means sometimes moving to places where you don't want to go.
Yeah.
And like that also sucks. I have 4 years here, so I try to make the best of it. What do I do whenever I move to a new area? I get on a dating site to meet people. You would think I'd learn by now. Haha.
Oh.
Anyways, the guys around here are low quality and will put their dick in any, and I mean any hole they can.
Yikes.
Oh, wow.
No.
Hot take. She really hates this
That's
town.
spicy. You don't think much of these guys.
No, yikes.
For sure.
Dude, I tell you, the brand new like motto for my dating for this upcoming year is low expectations, high standards.
That is exactly right. I think that is exactly the right mentality to go to. Don't expect much, but keep your standards where they are.
Yeah.
Lowered expectations.
Yeah, coffee dates all around.
Coffee dates.
My expectations are not at dinner.
Yeah.
They are at coffee.
Yes. And just be a normal human.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Please.
Just be a normal
You're like
human.
a year in of dating. All I need is for you to be like an
Just
average
a
human.
normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says the others are arranged from backwoods, missing teeth,
Oh.
to so-called religious do-gooders who wouldn't know how to be sincere even if they smacked their heads with a Hallmark sign.
Oh, damn.
no.
Oh, damn. So wait.
Real intense.
Let's pause. So what she's trying to say is that she loves where she's living right now.
Yeah, and
totally.
full
Getting it.
of just high-class 5-star human beings.
5 stars.
Fucking everywhere.
All the Yelp reviews. 5 stars.
She says, so my choices here are extremely limited, clearly.
Yeah.
I do not want to go wherever you are. Because if that's the entire
to know.
dating pool, there are no normal people anywhere? Really?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, are you closer to a big city?
Jesus. So she's talking about dating. The dating pool is a little suspicious. Okay. She says, I have 2 stories out of this ridiculous dating adventure here. After the second, I decided to just wait until I moved to start dating again. He went out of his way to match with me just so he could send me a nasty message about my tattoos.
What?
I'm heavily tattooed, not completely covered, but a full leg, full arm, chest piece, and other pieces. He told me my leg was disgusting and looked like dog shit. Went out of his way to match with you to tell you that.
Wow.
What is wrong with people?
Trash.
Wow.
Like, I think there's something about and it's not like you're anonymous when you're on like a dating app or something, because
Right.
there's like all these internet trolls or whatever that hide behind the anonymity to just be like miserable fucking horrible humans or whatever.
Right.
But like, you have pictures of yourself like holding your niece. You know,
Yeah.
are you going to be
I
like
know
a
who you
complete
are.
fucking asshole?
And
Like,
again-
what is wrong with you?
I know it takes effort to match with someone and send them a message where you can think whatever you want. Find me on Tinder, think that to yourself, but to go out of your way to match and send a message
Just to be nasty.
Pussy
is like
embargo, man.
pussy embargo. We are listen, I need a name.
I need his name. So
I need
we
his
can
name.
put
We can add him
our
to our
Kelly alert.
list. Yes.
It's a very large Excel doc.
We're gonna have
Flashes
50
on.
tabs sorted by state.
Yes.
We'll branch out into other countries as we progress.
Yes.
Listen, everyone call us to check before you go out on a date.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hold on, let me check.
Let me cross-reference just a second. Do you know any previous states he lived in? We'll check that list too. Okay.
Good call. Yeah.
He goes on to say, I am a pretty girl, and why would I fuck up my body like that? Okay. I get it. Tattoos aren't your thing, but there was really no need to give me your opinions when I clearly never asked for it. Thank you. Next. Amen.
Yep.
That would be on my list of deal breakers. Like,
Yeah.
do not ever suggest something to me that you think could be an improvement to me.
Trust me, I've already thought about
I
it.
made a decision, especially something like a tattoo. I have tattoos. I made decisions to get those tattoos
Yeah.
because I like them.
And I couldn't give a fuck what
If you
think.
like them at
Yeah.
all, it's my body. I'm happy with it. If you don't, keep it fucking moving.
Yeah.
We don't need that kind of shit here. The second one seemed promising. I forget where he was actually from, somewhere Midwest, and wanted to move back to Florida just like me. He was here because the military brought him here. So relatable. He was in the Navy and now works at a local business airport. We hit it off immediately, probably because we're both outsiders here. He works out a lot, likes to go out and have fun, loves the beach, everything I enjoy doing. We texted back and forth for a while and finally decided to meet up. So the day came and I got myself dolled up. At one point during the texting, he made suggestions about after dinner, we go back to his place. I told him that I hope he didn't expect me to sleep with him on our first date because I still didn't know much about his dating history. There are a lot of STDs around here, so my worry was valid. Yeah, she is roasting this place hard.
Yeah.
This place, I am afraid.
This place might burn down.
It seems
fire.
very flammable.
Exactly. Flammable.
Wow. There should be like a fucking warning on this town as you enter in, as you drive in. Just a warning.
Yeah.
I finally get ready and I'm sitting in my truck ready to leave, and I ask him what restaurant we were going to because we had 2 different ones in mind. That asshat told me he changed his mind and was just going to stay home and meal prep instead. Are you fucking kidding
Wait,
me?
what?
I think because she didn't put out. Like, she was like, I'm not going to put out. He was like, never mind. I'm just going to stay home and get swole, bruh. Never mind.
Do you even lift, bro?
Do you even lift, bruh?
Keto life.
Oh, that's my life.
I mean,
I'm all bit.
no shame, but
for real, high fat, no protein. They're all protein.
Did you even check your macros today?
Did you pee on the stack? What are your ketones?
I asked if he was serious because I was ready and sitting in my truck with it running. And he said, yeah, I don't really feel like going out tonight. I asked if it was because I said I wouldn't sleep with him on the first date. And he never texted me back.
Oh,
what a
yes.
fucking piece of shit.
See, embargo. No,
Yes.
really. He completely ghosted me afterwards. And so begins my now 2 more years of no dating.
Oh my
Until
God.
next story, love you ladies.
Oh, good luck, man.
Jesus. That sounds like a disaster.
Dude.
I don't
Yeah.
like any of that.
I'm going to keep my fingers crossed
And
for like
I'm sorry.
diamond in the rough.
I just want to know that you don't have a fucking dirty dick before I sleep with you.
Is that
Like,
too much
is
to ask?
that too much
Too
to
much to
ask?
yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing. Okay. I might sleep with you on the first date.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
I'll say that.
Maybe.
We'll see how it goes. But when you put it out there like
Yeah.
that, then I'm immediately suspicious, number 1.
Yeah.
2, like, kind of turned off.
Yeah. It's a definite no.
Just be nice to me and I'll probably fuck you.
Be
That's all
normal.
you have to do.
All
Just
you gotta
be
do is
normal. Just be normal.
Be cool.
Be
Why
cool,
would you
dude.
say that like before we even go out? Be cool.
Be cool,
Be cool, man.
Just
Be cool. Anyway, moving on. This is subject, my worst, in quotations, date.
Oh.
I know. I'm like, so maybe not a
Maybe
date?
not a date.
I don't know.
Okay.
So, not providing my name because I'd like to remain anonymous.
Ooh.
Understood.
That
Yes.
means it's spicy.
I know. You know it's going to be good then. Hi, ladies. I just started listening to the podcast, but I lost all of my shit at work when you played Fuck, Marry, Kill with Lincoln, Kennedy, and Roosevelt. And now I'm a fan for life.
I would say that that's a favorite episode. I think we get more comments about that than like anything else.
Oh my God. We are such dorks.
That is also one of my favorites. That's so good. Thanks for the laughs so far. I haven't had many dates, in quotes, in general. I was kind of a late bloomer, but I have had my share of what the fuck moments.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
There was the guy who told me I would, quote, look good pregnant while we were in the middle of hiking in the middle of the fucking woods alone.
I don't like that.
Or the guy who had a dead front tooth and instead insisted on kissing me at the end of the date. Fun times.
Oh my
I just can imagine this fucking dead ass black tooth coming. I can't.
Just coming for you.
Oh.
Like,
Oh. Oh, Keegan has no words.
I don't like that.
No. Sorry.
That grosses me out.
So gross.
I'm sorry. I know dental care is expensive.
But-
I'm not trying to shame anybody. Like, that shit's expensive. I get it. But, like, also ask.
Oh.
Ask before you come on in with that.
Keegan, you'd look good pregnant.
No, what?
Actually, yeah, legitimately, I think you would. You would glow.
You know
Bitch
what?
is
I
glowing
bet I
already.
wouldn't. I'd be that one who didn't glow. I'd be that
Dude,
one who's like,
I
hair
hope
fell
so,
out.
actually.
How dare you?
Because you're gorgeous already.
I would be the fucking mess. I would be the mess. I would be
Yeah,
the
I'd
one
be
that gains
sweating.
like
You're like Moo Moo.
7,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be sweating like for just like no reason. Yeah,
You see
no,
those
thank
like
you.
like Instagram people that get pregnant and you're like, legitimately, that's what I eat. That's what I look like after I eat Chipotle.
No,
and they're
I-
like,
oh.
8 months along.
I'm not
I'm like,
even exaggerating. I changed my outfit before I came over here because I ate potato soup and then I looked at myself in the mirror and it was loaded potato soup. It was delicious. But then I looked at myself in the mirror and like in the pants I was wearing, I'm like, these could be maternity pants. I could be 4.5 months pregnant right now.
My
I really could. I'm
God.
changing my clothes right now.
Oh,
get out.
I'm sorry, Keegan. Would you kindly get the fuck out of my
You
house?
didn't see me.
Get out of here. All right. So my favorite bad date wasn't really a date at all, at least not in my mind. I was 23 and living at home for a year after college. One of my best friends, we'll call her Kat, was visiting me in my hometown around Christmas time. Kat and I had a mutual friend,
The
Gary.
secrecy around this email is
It's
like, I love it.
It's high.
High
secret.
highly classified.
I also
Yes.
just want to point out that I worked with a Cat and a Gary together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So do I? Vivian,
Side eye.
is this you?
It is Vivian, and now
I
she's
knew it.
pissed.
God damn it! You weren't supposed to know. Anyway, so mutual friend named Gary who lived in my hometown. One night, Gary invited Kat and I to meet up with him and some of his hockey bros at a bar near my house. Not the same Gary.
I don't like hockey bros.
I kind of feel like I would.
I would too. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I'm down for
not
hockey
saying I
bros.
won't like hockey bros, the people. I don't like it if they refer to themselves that way.
Oh, no.
Like, I feel like that's going to be bad.
Well, he called his friends and some of my hockey bros, I think is what it's kind of in quotes, like, and
Okay.
some of his hockey bros.
But if he calls them
Eh.
that, I think I don't like that.
Not even Gary. Gary's so nice. Even
Okay,
if he
all
called,
right.
I mean, Gary, he's just playing around, really. Anyway, God, that took a turn. Gary had brought two friends with him, Bob and Jim. I guess that as soon as Kat and I walked into the bar, Jim decided that I was going to be his wife. Unbeknownst to me, of course. Kat and I ordered drinks, sat down.
Is he going to come and like throw you over your shoulder
No.
and like carry
Caveman
you out
your ass
caveman
out.
style?
I don't
Like,
like that.
excuse me, Flintstone, but
No. Kat and I ordered drinks, sat down, introduced ourselves to Bob and Jim, and started shooting the shit with Gary. Jim flirted with me a little. I wasn't that interested, but whatever. It was attention, so I didn't completely blow him off. I don't remember how it came up, but I mentioned offhand that I didn't really want kids. I'm older now and have since changed my mind, but I was barely functioning as a human at 23
Yeah, she
and
was like
living with my
23.
mother. I had no interest in raising a baby. My body, my choice in a conversation, right? Wrong. Jim began to tell me that I just hadn't met the right man yet.
Nope.
And that once I did, I would change my mind. Well, I feel like I have to change my accent. Once I did, I changed my mind in order to fulfill that man and make him happy. When this flawless argument clearly failed to convince me, Jim got more aggressive. At one point, he practically shouted something like, "Oh, so you're just going to trick a man into marrying you and then not give him kids?" He was so personally offended that I didn't want kids that I could only assume he had already planned our entire future together in his head in the 20 minutes which we had known each other.
what the fuck?
I am about to throw this table
I know.
across the room.
I know. I'd appreciate you not.
It's
my house.
I cannot even believe that. I cannot. As somebody that's like honestly like wrestled with the choice. It's been a thing for me. Like I've never had that want to have kids. Never has been like a drive for me.
Yeah, me either.
And it has been a war. I'm 37 now. You don't think that my body goes into overdrive when I smell a baby? It does. My body's like, hey, girl,
Baby smell is fucking primal.
we running out of time. But there's also been like nothing in me that's like, I have
want
no
to
desire
mother.
to
Yeah.
mother. There's
Yeah.
nothing
Well,
mothery
and
about
first of
me.
all, how
Yeah.
dare you
And
think
how-
that I'm pushing anything out of my body
Oh my
for
God.
you,
Yes.
sir?
Yes.
Ever.
Ever.
And you're fucking committing yourself to a lifetime
Yeah.
commitment.
Yeah.
A child is a lifetime commitment. Why would I make that kind of decision based on what someone else wants? That is a decision that you have to decide between the
hate
two
all
of
of it.
you.
Also, why the fuck are we talking about this after knowing each other for 20
Oh,
minutes? You fucking
absolutely,
weirdo.
Fucking not. And I am so fucking offended by you would trick a man to marry you and then not give him kids.
a baby. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I guarantee you if men could get pregnant, this would not be a conversation that we would
Oh,
be
God,
fucking
no.
having right
no,
now.
Never.
No. There's a lot of things that'd be different if men had to carry around
I want
fucking
you to push a baby out of your urethra and then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. Have
Yeah.
fun.
Bye.
This was years ago, so I don't remember every detail, but I'm pretty sure Kat and I just sat there and stared at Jim until he had tired himself out like a huge tantrum throwing man baby he was. Oh my God, that's why he likes babies. And then he
He
left.
can relate.
Yeah.
He needs a playmate.
Yeah.
And then he left shortly after. It was weird. It was so weird. I have since met the love of my life, who is a feminist and wonderful in every way. We spent our entire first date swapping OkCupid stories and telling each other, wow, you're so normal.
Write
And
some
get
of those
this,
in.
I didn't even have to trick him into proposing to me with the promise of kids. He treats me like a whole human woman, not just an incubator for his seed. Crazy, right? I still think of Jim occasionally. I hope he got the therapy he clearly needed.
Oh, there's hope out there.
But, I mean, bless up. Prayers.
Yeah. Prayers.
Prayers.
And I
Hopes
need
and prayers.
that hope because I'm going to share an original, an
Oh,
OG.
OG.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is the year episode, year anniversary.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been dating for a year and a half now. Now, I have been very upfront with my dates that I go out on as I've progressed through the year and a half. When I first started getting out on the dating scene, I was like, my little thing, on Bumble was like, what are you looking for? And I was like, something casual.
Yeah.
Soup's cash.
Soup's cash.
Don't try to lock this down.
I don't want to have
because
your baby.
Mama's crazy and doesn't not ready.
Mama, she's crazy.
Exactly. Now that's since progressed, little like baby steps here and there where I'm like, maybe I'm almost ready. No, not quite ready yet. And I've been very communicative and very open. And there have been periods of time during that year and a half where I haven't dated because things have been so like crazy and like tumultuous. And I'm like, I'm not going to bring somebody into this. I got to figure myself out. I got to figure out my own fucking house before I'm able to be a whole person and meet another whole person
Right.
and have a fucking healthy adult relationship. Is that like you feel is a good?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that is a wise choice.
Okay. So Monday, I matched with somebody on Bumble like a week ago.
Oh, wait, is this?
Yes.
Oh, edit this out, Adam Brody.
Adrian.
Adrian Brody.
Whatever.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll call him Adrian Brody.
Okay.
We'll call him Adrian Brody. I
It's
matched
not
with
the real
Adrian
Brody, though?
Brody.
Oh, damn it. I
Well,
wish.
that would be amazing. I did actually wait on him at the job.
He's
and
so cute.
He's so cute, and I've never had somebody. He looked into the depths of my soul.
Oh, he's
and
so
I've never
handsome.
had someone look at me.
That's
with
why
that.
he's so successful.
amount
I
of
always love hearing
intensity.
these stories
I
because I'm
was
like,
like-
that's why that man's successful. He's
He's
got a
so
quality.
sexy.
Yeah, I was like,
Is he straight?
I think so.
I don't know, but yeah, I was
Well,
like,
he
I'm
kissed. Well, that doesn't mean anything. He kissed the fuck out of Halle Berry when he won his Oscar.
So
Doesn't mean anything.
fucking hot.
Ooh, I just got chills in a good
You
way
need
now.
to kiss
Anyway.
the lips that kissed Halle Berry's lips.
Yes,
Amen.
man.
So,
Where do we
anyways,
put him on your list?
Who? Adrian Brody,
Yeah.
the real one?
Do you think he's
Oh.
below Bill Hader or above?
Below.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
okay.
Yeah,
below
yeah.
Bill Hader.
So it
Good.
goes Milo Ventimiglia.
Yep.
It goes Colin
Colin.
Hanks.
Yep.
It goes Bill Hader.
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody.
Awesome.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. we got a
Continue.
I
list.
mean, somewhere in there, we're missing Matthew Good, who's like,
Oh.
yeah.
Matthew
we know
Good's
you
got to
love
be
him.
second. I still think Milo's got to be at the top.
yeah,
Yeah, Milo.
So Matthew Good may be second because
Yeah. he's the
I
handsome.
ship Milo for you though.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
hard.
I do too. He's kind of nerdy.
When you
is
remember
he
your
kind of
name.
short though?
Yeah,
He remembered
We're
your
getting
a
name.
little
off
bit.
track.
He's my height,
Okay. Okay.
not in
okay.
heels.
Anyway, proceed.
Anyways.
Blonde Adrian Brody.
Blonde Adrian Brody. I matched with him. The conversation is very witty. It's a good back and forth. And the problem is he lives like a good 20 miles away, which 20 miles in LA might as well be in another
3
That's
hours.
another state,
fucking
essentially.
That's LA long distance.
Yeah.
Like you're an after 8 p.m. friend at best.
At best.
So
You're
I was-
geographically undesirable.
Yeah, after 8 p.m. before 11 a.m.
yeah.
Yeah.
Weekends, maybe. So I happened to be down in his area though when we went Monday
Yeah.
for like a Memorial Day barbecue. And I'm like, let's meet up for a drink. So I meet him. He does not look like Adrian Brody in person.
I knew it. I knew it.
He is probably a good 30 pounds thinner.
Thinner. He was thin in the pictures
No
I saw.
shit.
He was gaunt. Very gaunt.
Oh,
Oh,
And
no.
also had a very Nosferatu kind of posture.
Oh, I don't like that.
What in the fuck?
You just made a movement like you had hooves.
Like a praying mantis.
I don't like it.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
Where
know
it's like,
exactly what you're talking about.
yes,
Hunchback.
hunched,
Fucking
very hunched.
arms in front,
Yes.
elbows out.
Yeah.
I don't
like this.
it.
Very hunched.
You
And
guys
so
are
he's-
literally
he's-
doing it.
He's sitting.
He's got
with
his
drink.
spine is kind of poking
yes.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Where I was
I
like,
don't like
okay,
it.
I didn't know ahead of time that like posture was a thing for me.
Now you know.
Where I was just like,
Now you
now I
know.
know. I was like, looking,
You know,
he's
it's like it's one of those things you don't notice unless it's really bad.
Really bad. Because here's the thing, I don't have good posture.
It's like the drums of deal breakers. Where I was like, drums, you don't notice unless they're really fucking
Really
bad.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm like,
Really
I
good
don't have
or
good posture.
really bad.
So I don't feel like I can judge other people's posture because my posture's not great. I sit at a computer all day. I don't do yoga. My posture's not good. But if you look like you are slumped all the way fucking over,
Or like Nosferatu.
or yeah,
legitimately.
if you're holding your fucking shoulders to your ears and you're
silent
like,
movie vampire.
Oh my god,
it's a
that's fucking
no.
hilarious. I can literally visualize it.
Yes.
oh, I
So
can
anyway.
too, and it's not good.
So anyways, I get there, like hug him, get a drink, and he's talking. Also, again, I think we shared this on the shorty. Voice did not match the person, which was very
That's so
disconcerting.
off-putting. Yeah,
it's very
it's off-putting.
disconcerting. I was like,
Kind of like
don't
a silent
expect
movie
it.
star.
yeah.
Same.
So
Can't stand him.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him. Yes, exactly. I love that. So we're talking, and I'm finally digging into the meat of who this person is. And here's where I'm learning. I can learn something every single day.
See,
That maybe I focus too much on music when I'm talking to people and not so much into maybe what their actual lives is. And just because somebody might like a lot of good music,
you're like,
May
oh, you
not
like Radiohead? Here we go.
here we go.
Yeah, you know
Oh.
what, Christina? I will say for our 1 year, I think that's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah,
takeaway.
That is a good revelation to have at our 1 year.
It's not just music. You might want to find out if this person
Has a job.
has a job.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
He doesn't?
He does not have a job.
Does he smoke a lot of weed? Because I knew somebody who was very, very, very thin like that.
Meth.
Knew it.
Cassie's left.
Wait, I'm sorry. I need details. How did you learn this information? Did he tell you?
He was very upfront.
He was upfront.
Yes.
He's like,
he,
excuse me, I
he
have a mouth problem.
He left a wife and a 3-year-old child in Portland and is squatting in his mother's rental property.
Okay, I'm going to put a timeout. I'm going to put a pin in that. And I'm going to say, listen, I love you dearly. I don't want to say I told you so. But when you told me that he had a kid in Portland that he had no interest in like going back to see, I was like, that shit is weird. If you have a kid,
Yeah.
even if you personally don't want to meet that kid, it's weird that he doesn't have a problem with not seeing the kid. If he's on drugs, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He is squatting.
You're like, rewind.
His mother's rental property. Yeah.
Does she know, or is it legit squatting?
And then, no, she knows. And here's what we spoke about on our date. The other main topic of conversation were all of his other Bumble conquests. And he's like, the one that's my favorite right now is she wants to pay my car insurance since I let it lapse so I can come up to Hollywood to see her.
I oh my God. What is happening?
So
how did you end up out with this guy?
Here is
how thin is his hair?
It's so thin.
I knew
called
it.
it.
I
You
fucking
fucking
called
called
it.
it.
God damn it.
So here's
also, I didn't want to be
what
an asshole
I'm saying.
because you were going to go out on that date, and I feel like I was like bursting your bubble when you showed me. I was like, and you were like, well,
I told you he looked like somebody I didn't like. I was like, I know someone who looks like that.
I know. And I immediately thought, I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to walk of shame this onto the podcast. I'm going to have to, you were right to my girlfriend.
But you know what? In your defense, he was cute. He just looked like someone that I knew that I personally have a beef with. So I was like, that guy was shitty. So now I'm projecting.
Therefore,
and
I think this guy is shitty.
Yep. And you were right.
I think it's that same guy.
It might be. So here's
be.
my issue with the date. Who the fuck is you to not have your shit together and come at a queen like me?
Amen. Snaps, snaps, snaps.
Who the fuck is you? Because I spent a fucking year and a half of my life getting my shit together and not going.
Please tell me you said this.
Not going and putting my shit on anyone else because I was like, you know what? I'm not ready. I'm not a whole person and I'm not going to put that on someone else.
God damn it.
Who the fuck is you? To come on a fucking date with all that fucking baggage that you're not fucking dealing with and trying to fuck me?
Nah.
Did we not have a conversation about entitled
day.
men? There are certain men in our society who have been built up in such a way that they feel it doesn't matter what the fuck they do. They're still entitled to whatever. That's why he came out the gate with no shame.
No
because
shame.
he's not ashamed at all.
And he should be.
And he's just like, listen, I got bitches on bitches trying to pay my car insurance. What are you
going
to do for me?
And I'm like,
and
I'm
you're
going
like,
to pay for my makers on the rocks and I'm going to GTFO.
Yeah, I'm going to pay for my gas to get the fuck out of here.
In my car that's insured.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Like, but you know what? I do think that there is a certain segment. It's that who raised you segment of the population. By the way,
who fucking raised you.
I also think we need a shirt that says "Who the fuck is you?" because I think that that's funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there is a certain who raised you segment of the population who just think that they are entitled to whatever. They think they're so amazing. That's why they behave this way because they clearly think they can get away with it.
He thinks he can get away with anything. He's living for free.
Yeah, your mama needs to kick you the fuck out. We need to introduce mothers into this situation. Listen, kick your piece of shit sons out so that the rest of the general population doesn't have to deal with it.
I know.
Let's add his name to that list.
Yeah,
my mom,
Pussy Embargo.
That's
Pussy
exactly
Embargo.
right.
On Adrian Brody.
Alert.
If my mom knew, if my brother had a kid that he was not fucking taking care of, there is a 0% chance that my mother would give him an out. Like letting him live in her house and do meth and not contact his kid.
Yeah.
Wow. She wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
Meth. And he's like, hey, guess what? I do meth.
Just
how
BT
did
dubs.
that come up?
Yeah, please.
I need to know that.
Well, because he doesn't really feel like drinking. And then we started like talking about like drinking and like different drugs. And he's talking about all the different drugs that he had done. And then he was like, well, you know, and then from time to time, he's like, there was this.
Sir, I'm looking at you right now.
And from time to time, I do a little bit of meth. It's not a big deal.
Just sprinkle it on.
MBD. So I was like, okay. Like, and here's the thing. Like I said, I'm not coming at anyone, no one, given my fucking history and the own mistakes and everything that I've made. I'm definitely not going to judge Judy fucking anybody. Do you? If you're not hurting anybody, whatevs. But the cumulative story of this gentleman was that his shit was so not together. Like, this isn't a carry-on baggage. Like, this shit doesn't get on the plane.
This
No.
They're like,
check
too big.
this.
no. It's too...
You're going to have to FedEx that.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. That's baggage
That
on
shit
baggage
is
on
getting
baggage.
stopped by TSA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Shit's
not
getting
getting...
looked through.
Yeah.
It's not getting past security.
You're not getting through customs with that
That's
baggage.
No.
right.
No.
That's
It's not
right.
making
No,
it.
no. So
Yeah, I don't
And you're
wanna-
like, bitch,
okay.
I'm
don't
customs.
be on fucking Bumble or don't be on. And
Yes.
then I fucking had a blowout with Medic too, because he'll zombie out of fucking nowhere or whatever. And I'm like, motherfuckers, this is what I know coming into this on a year anniversary. I'm like, y'all ain't fucking ready for this. You are not ready for
And it's
anybody.
irresponsible.
And it's irresponsible.
And that's exactly right. So, not that I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like on this podcast, we put things out there and people can be going through something, and I'm not trying to blanket shame people who are going
Just
through
be
shit.
honest about who you are, though.
I get
That's
that.
what's up.
I totally get that. If you are doing whatever you're doing, like, that's fine. What we have said since the beginning of this podcast is like, don't put your shit on other people, though.
Correct.
Like, if you're going through something, that's okay. And if you feel like we're being hard on something, an activity that you participate in, I'm sorry, that's not our intention. But it's just like, you are wasting other people's time,
Right.
when you misrepresent yourself on the internet.
Yeah.
Thank
Don't
you.
do that.
That's the perfect wrap up, because that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
Because
know?
he did misrepresent himself.
He did.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean, he
you
should put in
haven't-
his profile that he's a meth addict.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's just a mess. So, yeah.
Ugh.
Happy year anniversary. There you go. That's
To-
my story.
All right. I
You
feel
know
like we
what?
should cheers to that real
Yeah.
quick.
Cheers to that.
Live and learn.
Live and
Yes.
learn.
Live and learn and listen to Lizzo and fucking.
Amen. Live and learn and listen to Lizzo. That should be a sticker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask you guys this because every time it's my turn to do a crazy in love, I get like fucking nervous.
Good.
Do you
Because
guys
you
get-
shouldn't
Do,
get nervous.
do you guys get nervous
Yes.
every time?
Every time.
For Crazy in Love?
Yes.
You know what it is for
I
me?
get fucking like nervous. Like
I
I'm
don't
like,
I don't
oh, what if I fuck it up?
nervous. I get the they're gonna know the story and it's gonna be so fucking and they're gonna know, like, I just feel like I have to do so much work.
I just feel like I have to do well. I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah.
what if this sucks?
I love you guys.
Jesus.
Wine.
Wine.
Wine. Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you this is about. I'm just gonna let the story
Okay, let it
play
run
out
Unfold.
Okay.
as it does. Okay. On March 1st, 2008, at about 4:30 in the morning in Alba, Texas, resident Tommy Gatson was awakened by screams and pounding on his home. When he went out to look, he found 41-year-old Terry Caffey, who was his nearest neighbor. Now, they live in a very rural area. There's less than 500 people who live in this town.
Holy shit.
It's an
that's small.
extremely small town in Texas. And they live in a very rural community. So their nearest neighbor, I can relate hardcore living in a small town in
Right.
Missouri. Their nearest neighbor is pretty far away. So he sees his neighbor, Terry Caffey, on his porch, laying down, caked from the waist up in blood.
First of all, anyone knocking on your door
Yeah.
these days is a frightening
Well,
thing.
And you're in Texas, you're
My-
lucky you didn't get shot.
my
Yeah.
apartment complex was broken into last night. So yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
very scary.
All scary.
So he finds him out there, caked in blood. He's in a t-shirt, pajama pants, one wet sock, which I kept that in because I'm just like, what the fuck is worse than a wet sock? It's the
one
worst.
singular wet sock.
One singular wet sock. And it's a cold night because, it's 4:30 in the morning. Even though it's Texas, it's
Yeah.
early March, He brings him in. Tommy brings him into the house. He had been shot 5 times once in the head,
Oh my God.
twice
It
near
was
his
able to make it to his house?
twice near his right shoulder, and 2 more times in the back. So he had managed to stumble and crawl the 500 yards
Oh, no.
to his neighbor's house after his family had been attacked. Now, I wanted to do this story because I had seen this like forever ago, and I spent so long trying to find the video I had watched because I had gone into a real deep dark hole of just allowing videos on YouTube about true crime to just play for hours at a time, like a few months back.
Yeah.
And so it got lost in the shuffle. But I remember this story because I remember him talking about it, about like getting to his neighbor's house and how like difficult it was. So
What's his name again?
Terry Caffey.
Terry, got it.
So his family had been attacked in the middle of the night, and he had stumbled the 500 yards to his neighbor's house, and along the way he even like fell into a creek. He almost drowned.
Jesus.
Like on his way over because he couldn't like get himself
fully
up.
functioning.
He'd been shot 4 times above the hip. Like
my
5 times because once in the face.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh, I've got chills.
So Tommy Gatson, the neighbor, he calls the Rains County Sheriff's Office, and they arrive a short while later. Terry told the arriving officer, "They're all gone. Charlie Wilkinson shot my family."
Ooh.
So they could see from the Gatson residence when they looked over at the Caffey residence that the sky was orange. The house was on fire. It was burning down. It was nearly completely destroyed. So on Terry's way to the hospital, he manages to tell the officers that Charlie Wilkinson was his 16-year-old daughter, Erin's boyfriend, whom he and his wife had just told. They had just told Erin that she was no longer allowed to see him. So that's what happened. Okay.
Ooh.
Let's rewind.
Okay.
So that's where
It's a
we
lot
are.
to take in.
Okay.
I
All
will
right.
say I got
Okay.
almost all of this information. I remembered this information from that video I had watched, but I was not able to find that video again. So then I Googled and I found this incredible, very long article on Texas Monthly. It is like chapters. It is a long article.
I love when local newspapers
Take it
do
out.
those stories because honestly, I've done a couple of Crazy in Love stories based on those, and they're always the best because
It's
they put
well
that
done.
local fucking color in it, and it is always well done.
Which is why
and
I
it's
have
like,
6 pages of
mwah.
notes because I'm like, okay, I need to leave out some of these, like, charms. But like, if you go and Google Erin Caffey and find the Texas Monthly article, read it because it's worth reading because it has all of that,
All
like
the juicy
local
bits.
charm and all that.
Legit.
So again, Alba is a rural community of about 492 people.
Wow.
It's deeply religious. And when I say religious, I mean very Christian, extremely Christian. Like everything about this town was something that I could relate to so deeply
Yeah.
as someone who grew up in a
I
very
bet they had a
small
puppet show.
Midwestern town. I bet you they fucking did.
Damn right.
The Caffeys were extremely active in their church, the Miracle Faith Baptist. I bet Miracle Faith Baptist had a puppet show.
Had puppet show.
Where the mother,
One of them was the lamb.
yeah, I bet you so. Where the mother, Penny, she played piano for the choir. Terry worked as a health aide, but he was also a lay preacher, which I'm not sure what that means. It's just like one who does
Lay
it
pastor.
for
I think that's the
funsies?
pastor who's like not. It's not their like permanent. He's like a stand-in until the
Like a substitute,
next,
maybe?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think that's
he's-
what that means.
He's a lay preacher, and
think so,
Erin.
too.
Don't quote me.
Yeah.
Erin sang in the church. There were also 2 boys. So there was Matthew, who was in 7th grade. He was known as Bubba to the family. And Tyler, who was a 4th grader. And all of them participated. You were shaking your head so hard.
I'm just like,
It's so Texas.
Bub.
And they all participated in like the church choir activities. Like Bubba would play the harmonica, and like, Erin would sing, Penny would play the piano.
Penny would play the lamb.
And then there is Tyler, who is a 4th grader. All 3 children had been taken out of public school. Again, also something I can relate to.
Rolled my eyes so
They,
loud. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I was homeschooled. I get it. They were taken out of public school, but you guys are going to roll your eyes a few more times through this. They were taken out of public school and homeschooled using a Bible-based curriculum. After a girl...
aren't like the majority of homeschool curriculums Bible-based?
There's a lot.
I had a really hard time
It's-
when my son was homeschooled. By homeschooled, I mean he had a private home that he went to?
No. A lot of
really hard.
homeschool curriculums are Bible based.
Oy
Yes.
vey.
But you guys are about to. We just got to muscle through this paragraph
Sorry.
because no, you're good. But I mean, it was one that made me like, really? So they pulled, and they are the victims here, 100%. But the parents did pull all 3 of their children out of school because when Erin was 13, a girl in her school had a crush on her and kissed her in the hallway. And so they immediately took all of their kids out of public school. For 3 years. They took them all out of public school.
They
for 3
literally
years.
said, "Not today, Satan."
Not today, Satan, apparently. So that was whenever Erin was 13. When Erin was 16, she began working at the local Sonic. Again, my town of like 3,000 people had a fucking Sonic. That's like all we had. We were very proud of it. Lots of small towns. This is
Never
what they
had
get.
it. I've never
Sonic
had
is
Sonic.
such a
Is
small town thing.
Is it good?
No,
I mean,
it's not.
it-
I'm gonna fucking play. Like they got tater tots and that's it. That's the only thing that's good.
if you
I
go to
fucking
Sonic, here's what you need to get. You need to get, they will give you fucking chili cheese tater tots in one of these like fucking long, like a huge portion of like chili cheese tater tots. Those bitches are good. Also, they'll give you a foot long coney covered in chili and cheese. Those things are good.
Okay.
Now, some of the other stuff, not so much.
Their burgers aren't good.
You can get better shit at any other fast food place.
Got it.
But if you live in a small town, it's the only thing you have.
Also, shakes. Also, I appreciate Sonic because they know what they are.
Yeah.
They know that they're just garbage food, and
That they
just
bring to your door, your
like,
window.
I think that they even decided recently to make a Red Bull slushie because those people know what they are,
Yeah.
and they're like, we're not gonna be McDonald's and pretend to be healthy. We're here to bring you the worst shit you could possibly have.
Dude,
You're welcome.
I saw
You're
a
welcome.
meme the other day that was like, can we all acknowledge that there's a small segment of the population that is keeping Long John Silver's open?
That's a amen.
That would have been me for sure, though.
Amen.
Can we talk about the Kyle video I sent you guys?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think I saw that.
So-
So she starts working at Sonic. She is, of course, super sheltered. And one coworker said it was like she was seeing the world for the first time. She got lots of attention from boys, and even once was caught by her youth pastor outside of her church making out with a boy. Ooh. Her parents were so deeply embarrassed that they immediately told her she was no longer allowed to see this guy, like this boy that she was making out
you
with.
know what works?
Yeah, cutting
Not
your kids
that.
off from shit.
Yeah.
So while working at Sonic, Erin meets 18-year-old Charlie Wilkinson. And while he's like a pretty good looking boy, he's definitely that kind of like homegrown good old boy type. He wears Wranglers. He goes fishing and hunting. He drives a beat up 91 Ford that has to be push started.
Oh,
he
Lord.
is a, kind of rough around the edges sort of type, like small town type. And if you want to know what that means, his MySpace handle, because we're talking 2008,
Oh.
I can't wait.
was Hillbilly.
Oh. He got on that shit. He's like,
Okay, yeah,
"Hillbilly."
he's like,
I got it.
right
doesn't-
away.
It doesn't even have any numbers after it.
Nope.
Just Hillbilly.
Just Hillbilly.
Well,
Wow.
I think on MySpace you could pick whatever you wanted. You just had to have your other shit. on
right,
there.
right, right.
think,
I was
I
like,
think.
that's fucking impressive.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
Honestly, give that boy
He's like-
some credit.
I'm the first one on MySpace.
Yes, exactly.
oh my god.
So he recalls meeting Erin. She was his car hop at Sonic. And he recalls meeting her by saying there was an instant vibe. And those around the two said that he was totally in love with her and considered her his soulmate. And he talked about her 24/7. So the
Must been
Caffeys.
love.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fucking teenagers.
Yeah.
The Caffeys did not allow Erin to go out with Charlie alone, and he would visit her for half an hour during lunch breaks. And then at the end of her shift, he would go back to her house. Like, they would allow him to see her when they were around. So he would go to her house. They would always have like bonfires. He would hang out with the family, like all around the bonfire.
yeah.
Until about 9 o'clock, whenever her curfew was. Then he would go home. Then she would call him until 10 o'clock when her phone curfew was.
Phone curfew.
yeah.
Separate.
So
That's
it's
cute.
it's a very teenagery,
Wholesome.
protective, wholesome thing. In December, Erin asked if she could go back to public school, and her parents allowed it.
Oh.
Surprisingly, they said okay.
That's shocking.
It's
With
surprising.
everything that's going on, they wouldn't.
Her brothers had been allowed to go back already. So her brothers were already back in public school. So she was like, can I go back to public school?
Please, 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 please,
Please, please, please, please, please.
I won't make out with any boys, I promise.
She did not hold up to that. So she went to public school in December, just after Christmas, or I guess probably in January then. And
She's like, and have you seen that White Snake video? That me.
me. So Charlie and Erin became even more inseparable at this point, and they would often go out to Erin's pickup and fool around. Eventually, her parents the most high schooly thing, like in between, if you were allowed to like leave the school at lunch, like
Forget it.
to go out to the parking lot, she had a pickup truck. So she was like,
I don't know why, for
do
whatever
this.
reason, the last 2 sentences of your story put "I don't want to miss a thing" by Aerosmith in my
Don't
head.
want to miss a thing. Yeah, I can see that.
It's
Yeah.
the video for it. That's
Yeah.
actually what she's describing is the video for this.
Close my eyes. Yeah, totally.
So eventually around this time, her parents start to allow her to go out with Charlie alone. Up until this point, she hadn't been allowed to do that. So
They're just
I guess
happy
they've
as
gotten,
a boy.
They've gotten to know
Oh,
ouch. But they've gotten to know him for a while now. And I guess like they're just kind of like, they don't like him. They still think he's like rough around the edges, but they're like, it's puppy love. It's harmless. Like as long as she's back by
you
9:30.
can't get pregnant during. I'm just kidding.
You can't get pregnant on puppy love.
right.
Everybody knows that. It's
I
science.
mean, it's science.
It's science. So they tell her they tell Charlie, like, as long as she's back by 9:30, you guys can go out for dinner or whatever. Like, that's fine. So they start to do that, and it is not long before they have sex because duh.
Yeah.
And
puppy love.
because puppy love. And one night, not long after that, Charlie pulls his car over when the two are driving together, pulls Erin out of the car, kneels down on the pavement, and
That's
presents
the worst proposal ever.
presents Erin with his grandmother's engagement ring.
Oh,
And he
Jesus.
says it's a promise ring. And it's not a formal proposal, but he's declaring his intentions. Which, can we just do away with promise rings? I know so many people in high school who
Yeah.
did promise rings, and I'm like,
I don't love it.
I don't.
I'll
You're
say it, I don't love
16.
Yeah.
You're 16. 90% of the people I know who got promise rings did not get
The
married.
promise.
Did not get the promise. The promise was not followed
The promise was broken.
through. Yeah.
You're like, I promise I want to fuck you so bad.
So
That's what the promise is.
that's
I promise I want
exactly
that pussy.
right. That's exactly right. I promise I don't want you to give that pussy to anybody else. That's what that is.
That is exactly. I promise you I own that pussy.
So a couple days go by. Erin's mom notices the ring, asks her about it, and when the parents find out about it, they're super upset,
Yep.
and they demand that she return it. And Terry, who had never really liked Charlie, he said that he was disrespectful, and said that like if he's disrespectful to me, like how is he treating my daughter? So never liked him. Went and confronted him at a basketball game, like in front of his homies.
That's probably not a good idea.
Gave him his ring back and was like, "This is inappropriate." And from then on, they totally limited Erin's interactions with Charlie. They limited them to once a week inside their home. Once a week
What is this,
inside their
like,
home.
Custody?
Yeah, I mean, listen,
I know, right?
they're
Like the
they're
most
clearly
contested
and
custody.
as it goes on, I mean, of course they're clearly the victims here, but there are so many like
Yeah.
we cannot, and this is such a common practice that happens, especially in the Bible Belt and in these communities, in communities I grew up in. They don't work. Like you can't do this. It's not going to work.
Right. And also,
Just
like,
as like
the number one
abstinence is
thing,
the only birth control.
It's not going to work.
Not gonna work.
if you wanted to make sure that I did something,
Oh yeah.
tell me
Tell me
not to. As a fucking 16-year-old, and I was like, ugh.
I
I can't wait to do it.
I can't wait to do it. I have to do it now.
clearly,
Yeah. Challenge accepted.
this caused tensions within the home, and Erin even told her aunt that she was waiting until she turned 17 so she could run away with Charlie. And the fights escalated, and once when her mother caught her breaking phone curfew to talk to Charlie, she was grounded, and this meant that her car keys and her phone was taken away, and her visits from Charlie were suspended for weeks. Like weeks. They were
Phone curfew is
and-
the most 16-year-old
she
shit I've ever.
broke phone curfew, and so they had to drive her to school every day. Like they took her
God.
keys away for like weeks. Imagine, like, you know,
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
So
I don't like
this
this.
is, but here's where it takes a turn. This
Oh,
is when
now is when it takes a turn.
now's when it takes a turn, because up until now you're like, you guys are kind of being like a little too much. But here's what we're not going to do. Fucking ask somebody to kill our parents. That's what we're not going to do.
No.
So this is when Erin began to relentlessly beg Charlie to kill her parents. She said it was the only way that they could be together, and she talked about it constantly. Charlie wanted to be with Erin and told her that he would do whatever it took to make her happy. Yet those around him said that he really only wanted to run away with Erin, and up to 2 days before the murders said that he wished he could just get her pregnant, because then the Caffeys would have no choice but to accept him.
This is so sad.
It's so Midwest teenager sad. But Erin was insistent. She said she was too young to have a baby. And she said as long as her parents were alive, she and Charlie would be apart. You're too young to have a baby, but you're old enough
This is where my head is.
to murder your parents.
Family. Yeah.
On February 27th, 3 days before the murders, the Caffeys demanded that Erin break up with Charlie. Earlier that day, Penny had stopped by the local library, which I also think is the most Midwest thing of all time. They don't have a at-home computer. She went to the library. She logged into MySpace, saw Charlie's MySpace profile,
Hillbilly.
and it included documents about having sex and getting drunk on his MySpace. And so when Erin came home, her father and mother were waiting for her, and they were like, you need to end this now. She seemed okay with it. She was like, I've been wanting to end this. I just haven't been able to figure out the right way how to do it.
Taking them
I'm
off their game.
totally fine with ending this. So let's bounce back. Charlie was apprehended on the night of the murders, of course, because Terry was alive and told them that Charlie had killed his family.
Yeah.
So he was apprehended almost immediately, and inside of the house, they found Erin Caffey. She was inside, and initially they thought that she was a victim of kidnapping. They were like, they went in, they murdered this whole family, and Charlie kidnapped Erin because he wanted to be with her.
Yeah.
So that's what they thought initially. She claimed she woke up in a house full of smoke, and there were two men with swords there, and they gave her something to drink, and then she didn't remember anything
men
else.
with swords?
This is her story, okay?
She got that from the Bible?
Well, as soon as Charlie learned that Terry had survived the attack, he began talking, and he said that Erin had called him the day before and, in quotes, still pretty pissed off about her parents telling us we could not see each other. So once again, she told him that she wanted them dead, and Charlie had urged her to just run away, but Erin said, no, kill them. So around
I
one...
can't even get someone to like give me a time and a place
And
to like
this-
meet
the-
for
yeah.
dinner,
She's
and
like,
this fucking bitch can
oh.
get someone to commit a felony.
Well,
for
hold
her.
on, because
And some.
around
I need to up my
1:30
game.
around 1:30 in the morning, Charlie picked up his friends Charles Wade. So Charlie and Charles. Charles needed money, and Erin had promised him the $2,000. $2,000. Like, I get it. As a teenager, you're like, $2,000.
Rich.
But as an adult, $2,000 ain't shit. Don't murder anybody for $2,000 fucking dollars. I
Right.
mean, don't do it at all. But
I don't think I'd murder somebody for $200,000.
yeah, I mean, don't do it. But so
I
Erin,
said I don't think. I mean that I
You
won't.
know.
You know.
I think
Yeah.
you know.
I think we know.
Wink. Erin had promised him the $2,000 that she knew her parents kept in their lockbox in the home, which she knew the combination to. So Charles's girlfriend was a high school senior named Bobby Johnson, and she insisted on coming along that night at around 1:30 in the morning.
Bobby, why do you always have to go?
Bobby,
everywhere we
like,
go?
you don't need to be fucking nosy.
Ugh.
Maybe just sit this one out.
Yeah.
I know she wishes
Bobby,
she'd done that
go
now.
home and watch Bachelor.
I know she wishes she'd done that now. So she wasn't initially aware of the plan, but they brought her along because she insisted on going. When they first arrived to Erin's house, the dog was barking so loudly that it scared them away, and they left, only to have Erin call Charlie several times, insisting that they come back and she would keep the dog quiet. So they go back.
That's breaking phone curfew for sure.
For sure. 1:30 in the morning. They go back, they pick up Erin, and they drive around for about an hour. During this time, Charlie is trying to convince Erin that they should just run away together, but she was emphatic that she wanted her parents dead.
Damn, girl.
Finally, they turned around to go back towards the Caffey home and park down the road, and it was agreed that Charlie would kill Erin's parents and Charles Wade would take care of the boys so no
Why do her
witnesses
brothers gotta
would be
die?
left behind. So Charlie, when he first met Erin, he had just come back from boot camp from the Army Reserves. He was fully intending on joining the Army, and this is what he said. He said, I ain't got no conscience. I joined the Army to do whatever needed to be done without thinking. As for her parents, I intended to kill them because I thought I was in love. So Charlie and Charles enter the home with a .22 caliber pistol and 2 samurai swords, which is the most teenage thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
The
And it's
most
also
Midwest teenage
like
boy thing ever.
the very best way to lie is when it has a kernel of truth to it.
Right, but that's
Two
what
men-
that's
two
exactly
men
what she
with
said. 2
swords.
men with swords came into my house because
Yep.
she knew that.
Yeah.
So they went into Terry and Penny's room first, where Charlie fired his gun until it jammed, and then he handed his gun over to Charles Wade, who fixed the gun and then shot twice more. And then, trigger warning, he cut Penny's throat with the samurai sword to make sure she was dead. Why they didn't do anything to Terry, I don't know. Maybe because he wasn't moving or something. I'm not sure. So the boys had woken up because of the sounds of gunfire, and they locked themselves in Erin's room. And Charlie claims that he didn't want to kill the boys, but Wade said, get the kids because little ones talk. So
They didn't see anything. They wouldn't have known.
they wouldn't have known.
They wouldn't
They were
know.
upstairs. So Matthew, Bubba, tried to fight. He kicks them several times. And so Wade shot him in the face. And then Wade stabbed the younger one, Tyler, several times. So they grab a suitcase that Erin had packed earlier that night full of her belongings and the lockbox and the contents from Terry and Penny's wallets, and they set the house on fire. When they return to the car, Erin smiles and says, I'm glad it's over. They
Woof.
open the
Wow.
lockbox with the combination that Erin gave them, and they total what they got from the lockbox and both of the wallets, and it comes out to $375. That's how much money they get from this.
Wow.
They drove around for a while before Wade returns Erin and Charlie back to his trailer where Erin and Charlie have sex.
Oh.
And then the next day, they apprehend Wade, who showed no remorse as he detailed killing the boys, and said that when they returned to the cars after the killing, Erin said, holy shit, that was awesome. They arrested Erin. So Erin had gone to the hospital. She went to the hospital. She got checked out. Everyone is being very sympathetic. You just lost your whole family, essentially, except for your dad. They don't think she had anything to do with it at this point. So everyone's being super, super sympathetic. They let her leave with police escort with her grandparents, her mother's parents, back to her grandparents' home. The patrol officer who's following her gets a phone call and is like, you need to arrest Erin
Oh, shit.
right now. And she's like, right now? And they're like, right now. So
Right
they
the
pull
fuck
them
now.
over. They pull the grandparents over. And in front of her grandparents, they say, you're arrested in connection with the murders of your family.
Oh.
And
Oh.
her grandmother is like, were you involved in this? And she's crying. And she's like, no, I wasn't involved in it.
Woof.
So, yes. So less than 24 hours after the murders, Wade, Johnson, Charlie, and Erin were all in custody. So Bobby should have fucking stayed home because just being present, she's in custody now.
Yeah.
So
Fuck you, Bobby.
Yep. After suffering from a broken nose, 2 fractured cheekbones, and minor nerve damage in his right arm, after 5 bullet wounds and climbing through the window of a burning building and crawling for 500 yards, That's all he got, which is insanely amazing. That like that's
Wow.
all the damage. He was discharged from the hospital just a couple of days later.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Wow.
So he, of course,
how many times did 50 Cent get shot?
a bunch.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
50.
So fitty. So he fell into a major depression, of course. He was staying at his sister's house. He fell into a major depression. He considered going back to the land and killing himself where his family had died. He was just like, I don't want to live anymore.
You have a lot, I think, to sift through when like your daughter tries to orchestrate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, basically does orchestrate like a complete familicide, you know?
Oh,
Right. I mean, and you can see the trauma here because he goes back, he starts like sifting through the rubble and like pulling things out. And he's talking about like, I would, pull out a Hot Wheels car that like was my kids, because like this place is like burned to the ground. So he's like dealing with a lot of PTSD. But can you imagine just for a second, like your whole family's gone. The only person who's left is your daughter who's implicated in these murders. He didn't know how to process it. So twice a week, he would go and visit her in prison. He was not allowed to talk to her about,
What?
He wasn't allowed to ask her questions about like what happened. Whoa. She couldn't tell him, but he would go twice a week. And he said that he found the visits agonizing, but felt the need to be in the presence of his only living child.
Oh,
God, it's so hard.
It's hard.
I mean, how do you even come to terms with that?
And so he couldn't ask her about the crime. So he asked her, were your mother and I good parents?
Oh.
And she said, yes, I couldn't have asked for a better mom and dad.
But yet.
So the court mandated a psych eval and it failed to find anything mentally wrong with her. And the phone records indicated that Erin had called Charlie a total of 13 times that night between 11:46 p.m. and 1:58 a.m. The prosecutors decide to ask the judge to certify Erin as an adult so that she can receive the maximum possible sentence, life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Even certified, juveniles cannot receive the death penalty.
Oh,
they just can't receive the death penalty. They can receive life in prison.
I see. Yeah.
So a detective had to sit down with Terry and discuss all this with him, present all the evidence to him, everything. And so the detective said, I brought all of the relevant documents and pictures and we went through everything. I showed him photos of the suitcase that Erin had packed and the burnt out lockbox that was open to the combination that she had given Charlie. I showed him the statement that a friend of hers had given to investigators about how Erin had wanted them to be killed. I told him about her and Charlie having sex afterwards, which was by far the hardest thing to have to tell him.
Ooh.
Which I'm like, that's the hardest thing? That they had sex?
That is pretty fucking rough.
I mean, it's real fucked up,
No.
but I'm like, they killed your whole family.
But no. It's not. This is what it is.
It's like they don't care.
It's the killing of the whole family and then the callousness to think nothing of it. So you're like,
right. You're not, no remorse. Zero
completely
remorse.
remorse.
Okay, fair enough. Because I read that and I was just like.
That is rough.
Okay.
Yeah. To me, that is the toughest part. Like, yes,
you cared so little that you
did this, but now you don't even have any remorse to the after fact to where you're like looking at this like, I just killed my fucking like you're not panicked, you're not freaking out.
No, she seems happy.
You're like, let's fuck.
Yeah, turned on by the situation. Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Sociopath shit right there.
So even after knowing all of that, Terry continued to stand by his daughter in court. So in court, whenever she was facing the judge and had to stand, he would go stand with her and hold her hand.
No.
Like,
I mean,
in court.
there's some things you literally just cannot.
I think as a human
with.
being,
Yeah.
he just couldn't deal with the fact that he lost the rest of his family.
It's
and I think
so
he's
hard.
putting up weird mental blockers to deal with it. Because it gets worse. You're giving me that face. It gets worse.
So much worse.
So much worse. And he also advocated that the others involved not receive the death penalty. He said, my heart tells me that there have been enough deaths. He wrote this in a letter to the district attorney. I want them in this lifetime to have the chance for remorse and to come to a place of repentance for what they have done. Killing them will not bring my family back. So he asked that Charlie Wilkinson and Charles Wade receive sentences of life in prison without parole. And after consulting, and this is Texas.
You're
and they'll
better
murder
than
you
me.
for fucking any. They mean not murder, but they will put you to death for anything.
Was that comedian? He's like, bye bye, dum dum.
That's Tom Segura. Yeah, we don't care.
Bye
in
bye,
Texas.
dum dum.
After consulting with the Attorney General's office, his honors were. His wishes were honored, and they offered them a plea deal. And in November, both of the men pleaded guilty to 3 counts of capital murder. Gosh. Once a month, Terry makes the 3-hour trip to Gatesville, where Erin is incarcerated.
Terry.
At his urging, she received a lesser sentence than life without parole. He wanted to make sure that she had something to live for.
No.
That's what he said. And so Erin accepted... Erin accepted a plea deal, 2 life sentences to be served concurrently, plus an additional 25 years. Because 2 life sentences to be served concurrently, that can mean anything depending on your state. You could be out when, at whatever time.
Yeah.
So this ensures that with good behavior, she will be eligible for parole when she is 59 years old. She'll be able to get out of jail. So Terry has chosen to accept the story. So after all of this went down,
words for this bitch.
He was able to talk to her about the case afterwards because once
it's over.
he was like, I want to know what happened. Please talk to me. He chose to accept the story she gave him. He says this, and this is where he told this phenomenal
He literally
story.
says, "I chose to accept."
He told this phenomenal story in the first thing that I saw, where I was like, he has this incredible story of survival. And then at the end of it, I always end up feeling kind of the same way, where I'm like, I feel so sorry for this man because, of course, he's choosing this because of the situation he's in. But I'm also like, there's some deep, deep-seated denial here.
Yeah.
Because he has chosen to accept the story she provided him, which was that she was planning on running away that night, but then she changed her mind. The phone calls in the phone records, she told her father, were to dissuade Charlie from coming at all. It was Charlie who wanted the family dead. And when he came to the house, she had been powerless to stop him. And then
I don't believe
it either. And then he said, I think she thought Charlie was just blowing smoke. I don't think she actually thought he would go through with it. I know my daughter. She cried one time when we were in my truck and I ran over a squirrel. She's tender-hearted. No kid's an angel, but I know what she's capable of, and I know she's not capable of murder.
He is so blind.
God.
Erin then told another...
That's all he's got.
Yeah, that's all he's got. So he's clinging to it. He did get remarried to a woman who has 2 sons, so... he's starting over, but like this is his, like he's choosing to believe the best,
Bless his heart.
So Erin told a different story to a mental health counselor who was set to evaluate her for her defense. And when she spoke to this counselor, Erin insisted that Charlie had a volatile temper. He had killed her family after she had broken up with him and then framed her. And then this counselor says, I have worked with some good liars, but Erin is one of the best. He has 19 years experience counseling juvenile offenders. And he said, she seemed totally sincere and genuine. And I would have put my license on the line to say that she was telling me the truth. She spoke with tears in her eyes. Quote, God will save me. He knows I'm innocent. I cried every time I left her jail cell.
Wow.
This is what I had to say because I fucking made a comment earlier. It says the best lies have a kernel of truth in it. And I will say that the stricter the parents, the better the liar.
No, I would say so. They
I
prepped
agree.
her.
They've been
They prepped
practicing
her
their
for
whole
this.
lives.
Yeah, she
The
was prepped for
stricter
this.
the parents, the
And
better the liar.
While
And
we're
if-
saying a grain of truth, I won't say that she's not completely unreligious, and I will say that she probably does believe some of this shit that she's saying.
Yep.
Like, I don't think she thinks she's totally lying. But I did watch some videos of her, and I'll get to that at the end of
Oh,
this. So hold on.
shit. Hurry up. I want to hear that.
I'm sorry, I'm going. All 3 of the other defendants. So everyone else, Bobby, Charlie, and Charles, they all, when independently interviewed, gave the same account. That Charlie constantly was like, let's just leave.
I don't want to do
Let's
this.
run away. We don't have to do this. And Erin constantly was like, we're going to do it. Like, Bobby says that Charlie kept saying, are you sure you want to do this? And she said, why are you asking me this? If you love me, you'll do it. So, she also says that Erin seemed elated after the killings and said that she was free, that she had wanted to actually get out of the car and make sure that everybody was dead, and that it was Erin who insisted that her brothers were killed. According to both Johnson and Wade, they both said that it was Erin who wanted that because the boys, one, they picked on her, and two, she didn't want them to be in foster care. That's what she said. So just fucking kill them. So Wade says when we pulled away from the house, she was happier than a kid on Christmas morning.
Fuck.
When Charlie was interviewed from his new home in the Polunsky unit in Livingston Maximum Security Prison sometime later, he said, I would have done anything for her. She was very smart, very caring. I don't know why she wanted it done, why it had to be like that, but she was a very nice person. When he learned that Erin had previously asked another boyfriend, the guy she had been caught making out with behind the church, to kill her parents almost a year previous. Charlie
girlfriend
said,
had it.
She wanted this
She
done.
wanted this done. Hell or high water.
However it happened. And so Charlie said when he found that out, that it made me question a lot of things.
Really?
I'll bet it did.
Just now?
After months of pushing me and convincing me and all this, I got to thinking that maybe all I was just a tool. When asked if he still loved her, he said, once you love somebody, you can't quit. You always will.
Wow.
After he's in fucking jail for the rest of his life, that's what he says about her. And so I know this.
After what he knows now.
This is not the most reliable source, of course, and I have my issues with him. But Dr. Phil he visited. This is what comes up on YouTube. Like, he visited her in prison.
Really?
He presented her with all the evidence. He tried to get her to crack. And I appreciate what this psychologist, this counselor in prison says about her being an incredible liar. But I will say, me watching her,
convinced?
No.
Oh, no.
Not convinced. Like, to me, it felt like somebody who was fake crying, because what he did, and I do think, and to me, this is trauma porn, and it's something that I don't get on board with, where he was to her reading off everything that happened to her family, to her face, just to like capture her reaction. Which I don't like that.
Fraud.
It grosses me out. But because he did it, and I did watch it, her reaction was somebody who I felt like was like trying to cry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe that's because she's desensitized to it because it's been so many years.
Yeah.
But to me, it felt very
phony,
like very, very fake. But yeah, that's the story of Erin Caffey.
Damn.
Damn.
6 pages of notes. I got it out.
Love it. I'd not heard that story, so well done.
Thank you.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Wow.
And it's relatively recent.
Also,
too.
though, I'm
10 years.
kind of interested in watching this Dr. Phil thing.
I know.
I mean, it's because it's Dr. Phil, it's in clips. So you can watch, like, there's like 4 of them on YouTube. Yeah. So you can watch them. And it's like he did that. And then he has the dad in his studio and he's like playing the video for his dad. And he's like trying to convince the dad that like she's lying to you. Like, clearly she's lying to you, because he still stands by her. And he's like, no, I think she was manipulated. I think Charlie manipulated her. You know, like he stands. But I also get it, because
so
I'm like,
traumatized.
Yeah, you lost your whole fucking family. You were shot 5
He's
times.
Like PTSD traumatized.
And this is all you have left. And like,
you got to believe in something.
You got to believe in something. And like, you're wrong, sir.
I know.
You absolutely are wrong. She tried to kill you and your whole family. But like, I also can't fault him, because
I know. You see where he's coming from.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Hopefully, I don't have to ever think about it.
Hopefully.
So.
I know. And for me, like, I think I'm still really mad at Dr. Phil for the cash me outside.
No, you should be. You 100% should be. You should be mad at a lot of these daytime people who are making people famous who should not be famous.
Yeah,
like,
it really
100%.
really pisses me off. Like, we should not be rewarding bad behavior.
Anthony made me listen to Bad Baby, which she is.
What's that?
The Cash Me Outside
the
girl,
Cash Me
that's her
Outside
rap
is like
name.
famous now.
don't
She's
like
a
that.
rapper.
And I was like, I don't like this. Please
Nope.
turn this off.
This is horrible. That's
This is
a bad idea.
This is a bad idea.
You know what's a good idea?
What?
I want to shout out, since this is our 1 year, I want to shout out some of our Stan fans.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
People who
So-
have been here since day one,
So our
motherfucker.
OGs, and it's funny because you had mentioned a story earlier from a girl who has been
Absolutely.
a fan of ours since like the very fucking
one.
beginning. And fuck it, I'm shouting her out. She doesn't give a shit. I know she doesn't because I know her. Her name's Michelle. We're shouting you out, girl. Thank you so much for being a listener for fucking ever. Georgette,
Yes.
Yeah, shout out all of yours.
Georgette,
Yeah.
Kylie, who's
Yes.
been like honestly since day one, like OG fans. And
Yeah.
so for our year anniversary, since you've been with us for a year, fucking
Hi,
hey,
thanks.
we love you.
A year's
We couldn't
commitment.
honestly, we couldn't do this without you guys. You've been shouting us out. You've been supporting us from the very beginning, and we just so appreciate it.
I am going to stan fan my girl Laura Lee, who I lost touch with after we used to be camp counselors together when we were teenagers back in the fucking day.
Yes.
And she has been listening since day fucking one. And it has been great. She joined the Facebook group.
Dude.
She's just fucking amazing.
I see her on there all the time.
Me too.
I
I
know,
do too.
and I'm just so happy and to have been able to like rekindle and just be like, oh my god, what's up? Because it's literally like half a lifetime ago that we talked, and just seeing like how beautiful her life is, and just what an amazing woman that she has become, and getting to reconnect has been amazing. And also, I'm gonna stan fan Handyman. Stan
Yes.
fan Handyman.
Yeah, I think
You know
that's
what?
fair.
And we'll
for
give
sure.
Good call.
It's
Yeah.
fair.
Handyman, shout out to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, he's listened since day one as well, and has always been very supportive, and he loves the podcast as well. So
And he has shouted us out to friends. He has been fucking awesome about like, you know, like letting people know. Good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah,
Good call. I like
amazing call. Good.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a lot of people, and I don't want anyone to be offended by feeling like they're left out, because I don't want to leave anybody out.
do like a Stan fan thing at
Tammy.
the end,
Yeah.
like every.
Yeah, I actually don't even know if my mom listens, but
she is a Patreon.
But she is a patron, and she supports me so much because she's just the best. She's the
Hi,
best mommy. But you know, I will say Anthony listens every fucking week.
True.
He listens,
Oh my God,
he
so
listens
fast.
every week, and he comes home with
And
like
he
feedback.
comments.
Every
Yes,
week.
he does. He
He does.
messages.
He's also a patron.
Yeah, he is.
He's in it fucking full force. So I have to shout him out. But Tony. I will also shout
Uncle Tony
out
to Charlie.
emergency contact to Charlie the cat.
So true.
I will also shout out my Missouri best friend Sienna.
Yes.
She listens to both of my podcasts and texts me routinely about what she listens to. So I know she listens.
That's
so
awesome.
amazing. My old coworker Denise.
Yeah.
Same. She listens to both my podcasts. She's freaking so supportive and amazing. And then I will say, just for all of us, our mutual friends, I know that Amy listens
course.
Mac
all the time.
does.
Mackenzie listens. And it is, I understand that it feels so, it doesn't feel like an important thing to you guys. Maybe you listen just because it's fun or like whatever, and you don't really think about the impact that it has on us, but it actually has quite a large impact on us. It's really important to us, and we appreciate it so fucking much.
Yeah.
Like so much that you guys find us entertaining enough to even want, because listen, just because we're your friends doesn't mean that you would find us entertaining enough to want to,
That's so
Well,
true.
And for all the new friends that I've made in this past year, because it is like you guys have been such a part of
Including Andy, man.
my healing process, through this whole thing, like getting to do this podcast and finding out like, oh, okay, like dating sucks. It's not just me,
Yes.
It's been like such a great healing
eye-opening.
thing.
Yeah.
And getting to meet people like Sarah French or Leah, the girl that just
Oh my
moved
God,
out
Leah.
here.
Yes,
and, like,
we can't leave you out, Leah. Oh my God. Thank you.
Thank you. Like all these like amazing new people that have entered our life and our group and have shared their own stories and have shared themselves with strangers pretty much, and have joined in with laughs and fun and amazing support.
And have opened up conversations on our Facebook group. I mean, like, we've had some, like, actually kind of deep conversations on our Facebook group.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's been so wonderful and fulfilling. And
So
I'm
rewarding.
not gonna whine cry.
Yeah.
But I just...
No,
we're-
definitely
we are-
not. I'm
we're
keeping
getting-
that buried deep
So
down.
wallow it
Getting
in.
a little emotional.
But I'm so happy and I'm
I think we
excited.
stan a fan every week
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I think we stan
love
a
it.
fan every week.
I know, because I literally just want to shout them all out.
I want to shout them
I know,
all
and I feel
out.
like, so if we feel it, like, if
we
you
didn't-
feel like we left you out, we're
getting there, because we see you make our days so much brighter when you post something on Facebook or when you reach out. We see you and we love you, and thank you so much. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. You can reach us on there. Happy 1 year anniversary, everybody.
Yes.
And looking
Cheers.
very much
Yeah.
forward to the next one. So thank you so much for listening.
Cheers.
What's up, everybody? Okay, do you guys know that even if we all ate the same and exercised the same, that we would all still look completely different? I'm Lacey Green. I'm a super trainer with Body. That's BODI.com. I'm telling you, this is something that you need in your life. The app isn't just about having a perfect body, because what is that anyway? It's about what we call health esteem. Feeling good about yourself right now, just as you are, as you work on the person you are becoming. Using Body's tools to find your version of happy and healthy. Body isn't just some software. It's people. It's trainers, nutrition, and mindset experts, and a community of other people just like you and me. And they even have my program for beginners only, which you have to try even if you've never worked out a day in your life. I'll get you off the couch and started on day one, finding the joy and dropping the judgment. And don't take my word for it. You can try it for free right now for 14 days at body.com. That's body with an I.com. Let's get up, get moving, and feel good. Whoop, whoop.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.